Well, hi, everybody. Welcome back. Jeff Hopper with Tracy Hansen. And we've
Good to
been
be back.
talking about the things we've gained through Christ. And today we're going to talk about the ability to believe that Jesus came that we might believe. And I'm going to ask Tracy a little bit about success in golf and how you come by success in golf. I know sometimes you'll hear people say that it's, being able to trust your swing, but you have to have some foundations for that. And I know you've got some things in mind here, Tracy. How do you succeed?
Yeah. Well, I think you're right. You got to trust, but if you've never practiced or you don't know the fundamentals, then what are you trusting in,
That's
right?
right. Yeah.
It's kind of spiritually related there too. So for me, really, to be successful, you have to have good alignment, know your targets, and know that your body positions are pointing towards those targets. You can't hit the ball where you don't look for it to go.
Yeah.
And another fundamental is to have a strategy. A lot of people just go out and play golf and just hit it down the fairway. And for a beginner, that's a great place to start. But then eventually you have to have some strategy. Maybe you don't hit driver off of every tee. Maybe you have to lay up because there's a bunker or a water hazard that you can't get over. So then why try?
Yeah.
And so strategy, course management. And then what I learned later in my career, which I wish I would have known when I started, was really the fundamentals of breathing, the way we're designed to breathe in our diaphragm and using that oxygen to our advantage. And what I learned later is that it brings just a sense of slowing down, of being present. And while that's obviously important in golf to be present to what you're trying to do, I think that spiritually too, are we even present?
Are we attending to what's right in front of us, and as opposed to thinking about everything that's out there? Is that what we're
Right.
talking about?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Well, we better interject a little free lesson here for people. You talked to me about this once. I don't even remember what the course was, but I remember standing in the fairway talking about this. And there was something about you want to breathe in or out at what point in your swing?
Okay. So a lot of people think you just take that breath, before you go in, but you really want to be breathing the entire swing. And so if you can think of your in breath, breathing air in, and then just as you start to like transition into that out breath is when you actually want to pull the club back. And then just let the out breath be the entire swing.
Because I don't have enough to think about already with my swing.
But you know what I found is that it takes your mind off of all those mechanical things that we try to think about.
Yeah.
And then that's where you can trust the skills and the swing and just let the club do the work.
Great. Well,
Yeah.
I hope that helps the people who are watching today. We we may have just done great damage.
Probably.
Oh well. Well, let's talk about the fact I just finished doing some study and teaching on John's gospel and how prevalent the theme of believing is there, and that Jesus's purpose to come was that we might believe. And we see it in the beginning of the book, and we see it all the way to the end. John says, all these things were written that you might believe. And John the Baptist pointed us to Jesus who came that we might believe. This is it. I mean, if we don't believe, we've got nothing, right?
Right. Yeah. And so I go back to, like, we were talking a little bit in preparation for this about the alignment and, like, do you know what you're aligned to? And I think that coincides with, do you know what you believe? Like, do you know who you believe in?
Yeah, it's significant, and yet it's wonderful too that the one that we're supposed to believe in is the one who came that we might believe. So he's the one helping us. So, it's kind of like the pro, I guess, saying, hey, you got to line up straight. And you have to look at the pro and say, well, would you stand back there and help me line up?
Yeah. And a lot of times when we're aligned correctly, it doesn't feel right.
Right.
It kind of, our body plays games with us in that relational aspect of, and so I think sometimes we have to believe even when we don't feel like it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, when it's the feeling isn't there.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, it's that what does the song say? It's so sweet to trust in Jesus. And so here it is. We have the ability to trust in the one because he gives us that ability. And then when we trust in that, he gives us the reward for that belief, which is
Mm,
salvation and several other things. So wonderful. Yeah.
yeah, it's a good thing to think about in this new year.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, thank you, Tracy.
You're
Appreciate your
welcome.
time. And we're glad that all of you were able to join us. And we will see you again next week.